Hey Aquarius, it's Empress Rose. Welcome to your general reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. Check your sun, moon, rising, and Venuses if you want. And all these cards are thoroughly pre-shuffled. We're starting with the Oracle of Mystical Moments for an intuitive vibe of where we're going with our Aquarius. What's Aquarius need to know? Okay. Capricorn just got this card, Treasured Memories, dealing with something from our past. Lullaby. There's a lot of silence in this card. Sleep, rest, a deep soul rest. Some reflection, some self-reflection, a deeply emotional card. We're not seeing anything very clearly. This is intuiting, feeling card. It has to do with something from your past. This is fascinating. I'm actually going to pull another card because I want to. Aquarius. Okay, let's take this one. Another dreamy card. We're dreaming, here's what we're dreaming of. We're dreaming of talking about something from our past, a treasured memory. We're dreaming about talking about it. We have an idea where our head is above the clouds and we have these messages that we'd like to let fly, and we're dreaming about what it would be like to communicate. And here he's dreaming too. I mean, he's not playing his instrument. He's dreaming about music, dreaming about what he would like to communicate with his music. Really thinking about it, a lot of reflection, and this is a deeply feeling card. There are very deep emotions going on here, because he's not even in tune with his sight. He can't even see. He's just sitting here feeling in silence. And this has to do with some treasured memories. Something from your past really has you in your feelings and really has you dreaming about your future. So yeah, there's something from your past that feels so deep and profound to you, and it has you really imagining something in the future and thinking about that. Okay, I got a new deck. It's called the Moonology deck. It's about the moon. It's fairly new to me. I've been able to do some reading on it now and some working with these cards and that kind of thing. But we're just exploring this and seeing where it goes and what it can contribute, if anything, to our reading. So, all right, I'm gonna shuffle them and then pull a card. They don't jump very well. They're not doing that right now for me, so apparently I'm going to do this anyway, of habit. Okay, we're going to take the card on the bottom. You're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. So this would be sort of a major arcana. This is a special moon in this deck. It's almost full. This dream that you're having, this internal vision, this deep feeling, this dream of being able to talk, of being free, being able to speak freely. Having this dream, it's actually very close to coming true. It's a very grounded, you're very grounded in this. A lot's gone into this, a lot of thought, a lot of feeling. This is saying almost there. So keep dreaming. You're almost to the part where this cycle is complete, or yeah, you've achieved what you wanted. You're almost to the part where these birds get to fly. You're almost there. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, Aquarius. Let's move to our Santa Muerte deck. Okay, I don't usually take things that jump, but we're taking this. and we're adding it to the overall vibe. It's the Three of Wands. It's a message, it's intuition, it's growing very quickly, reaching for a light you cannot see. This is what you've been doing, is reaching for a light. You've been in darkness. There's been this message unsent, so we're seeing another message unsent here. And you've been growing in darkness, just kind of intuiting your way towards something. And it's saying that, you know, you're going to get a lot of clarity, and you're going to see it, this thing that you've been growing towards and moving towards. All right. All right, Aquarius, this is your past, this is your present, this is your inner landscape. What's at issue? The environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Yeah, girl. Or boy, whoever you are. This is your possible outcome, so I'm loving that, because that is the gibbous moon. So in your past, you have this King of Hearts. You have a very emotional, an emotional mastery, an ability to handle emotional liquor, an ability to handle emotions responsibly. So, and love, you know, this is the cups. This is full love, and being able to master that, and not master it and control it, but master it as it comes. You're able to handle the feelings and the emotions, and you can handle this. So you've achieved some sort of emotional mastery, and when the emotions come, you're able to absorb them and handle them and deal with them. In your present situation, you have a Ten of Swords. You have a painful situation that is being resolved. Again, you're very close to achieving your goal, and this is repeated here in this Ten of Swords, that the way you think about a situation is transforming and changing from a way that you think about it that causes you pain to a way that you think about it that causes hope. So you're transforming how you view and see a situation. And it's the final transformation, and we see the skulls here. So this is about your mind and how you see and how you communicate about a situation, and it's changing. You've completed a cycle. Whatever was going on in the past is ending, and there's a new way of communicating and a new way of viewing this whole situation. In your inner landscape, you have the Four of Swords. So you're kind of resting, or you need to be resting. You're taking a break, you're taking a time out. You're maybe not thinking about it or obsessing about it quite so much. You've done a lot of work here, and it's time to chill out. You've worked late into the night, and you're tired. You're kind of exhausted of the whole situation, and your inner landscape is telling you, it's time to rest. Just take a break. It's okay. You know, you've learned how to deal with your emotions effectively. You've learned how to deal with your mind and how to change the way you've had a whole paradigm shift go on with this whole situation. You understand things very differently now. I feel like this lullaby and this King of Hearts are the same thing. This is a deeply, deeply feeling card, really listening to your emotions. And now it's time to rest. You've got this time out here. This resting time out. That's what you're doing internally. At issue is the Hermit. You have a Hermit at issue, possibly a Virgo, that is at issue here. But what's at issue is it's gone on too long. The isolation, the internal examining. Yeah, you've been able to change this paradigm and change things up and change the way you view it. But it's almost like this isolation has gone on too long. You can't see very far. You've dealt with your inner demons, and it's just not moving. There are so many situations in life where we grow from. Every situation is fertile for growth. Okay, there's no situation in life where you can't grow from it, and learn and become a better person. But this is like, yeah, and the situation still goes on, even if you grow from it, even if you can see. And maybe you're trying to see too much into the future. Maybe you're just way too focused on trying to see you know, the Hermit card works great when we're trying to see our next steps, but we're trying to see too much here. There's so much passion outside this coffin. Once you're ready to emerge from this coffin, or once a situation emerges from this coffin, there's just so much passion. But right now, you're just maybe a little too focused on your inner light, a little too focused on seeing what comes next and wanting to do that. There's might be some alcoholism going on here, so there's just some inner demon work, and it's not coming to completion. It's too much isolation. And what's funny is isolation helps us deal with our inner demons because they come out in isolation. We have just our thoughts, and I like to think of inner demons as like, if you live with like 5 other people and the house gets messy, you have so many people to blame. You're like, and your shoes and your socks and your dishes and your la la la. When you live by yourself, it's like this whole mess is yours. And that's what isolation does, is it like mentally and emotionally, our mess is ours. There's nobody to blame here. There's nobody else here to blame. So the Hermit card can have you in this situation where you're like, this whole mess is mine. Everything, every thought here I created, every perspective here is mine. And this is, you know, the Hermit card allows you that isolation to deal with your own light, to look inside your own coffin and see what you're buried with. But staying here too long is also not healthy. So maybe you've stayed in this like contemplative state for a little too long, thinking about something for a little too long, possibly. Oh, this card, this card bothers me. It's not a clear reading on this deck. It's like the only card. I love this deck because everything feels very clear to me for the most part, but this one does not. This is the 4 of Pentacles. This is in your environment. There's some clinging, some grasping, this isn't you, this isn't coming from you, this is coming from somebody around you. There's some clinging and some grasping and some controlling going on. Some clinging to what is, I feel like. And sometimes this is great, you know, like you go buy a new car, like you do want to cling to your money, you want to cling to what you've got, because there's very clearly someone there trying to pry those coins away from you. But in other situations, this isn't a great energy to have, because life is about clutching and letting go. And this is the heartbeat, is the clutch and the let go, the clutch and the let go. And so there needs to be a bit of a pattern, a clutching, yeah, I want this, yeah, it's mine, and then a letting go of surrendering it. So what's going on in your environment is a lot of clutching. We're at the clutching part of the heartbeat. This could be you, but it seems like it might be someone else in your environment wanting more control than they're entitled to in the situation. But there is like a purity of intent. The intent is great. The intent is wonderful. There's almost a playful intent here, but I'm not sure everybody wants to be doing it the same way. So there might be a control issue. She's sort of like playing with a dollhouse, and it has to do with something in real life. It has to do with money, maybe. Someone controlling their money a little too tightly or something like that. So in this deck, it's supposed to be a playful energy of you know, playing with your money and kind of exploring your money and your finances. So that could be going on. But I also see like she's being playful and they're not enjoying this at all. So kind of a control that other people aren't enjoying. It's a confusing card for me, I admit. I don't necessarily understand what this deck means by it. The other decks I get. There's a lot of clarity on this card. This deck I do not get. And I think part of it is because it's just such a different, there's a playful reading to this. But there's also these terrified villagers. So somebody's playing and somebody's not. And that's in your environment. Your to-do list is this Page of Wands. So this message you're holding, this message right here that we got with your 3 of Wands, this is the Page of Wands. So the page is learning, observing, swinging, they're not moving back and forth, there's not a lot of movement, and they're holding their message. So this is really thinking, this is a contemplative space where you could be moving around, you could be doing this wild swinging and moving, you could be delivering this message, but you're not. And I see that here and here, you know, not delivering this message that you have, or something that you'd like to say, something you'd like to talk about. You're not moving on it, you're sitting on it. It's very inspired, you're very inspired, it comes from the heart, but there's just so much here about not talking about it, you know. He's not making music. This bird's got a message they're not delivering. This bird, she's just dreaming about letting these birds free, but she's not there yet. And so we have this whole vibe here of not being there. That you're resting, you're stuck in your coffin here a little bit. I don't get what this Four of Pentacles is, playful control, but whatever. You're very close. You're close to being able to move with this, but you're not. And then a possible outcome, we have the Santa Muerte card. This is the namesake for the whole deck, and this is about transforming this entire situation. She's pregnant. Look at it. There's something so lunar about being massively pregnant, about the whole process. She's got her cradle right here. Her inner demons have become a little lap dog. It's time to harvest. It's time to achieve the goal. It's going to be divinely timed. There's a lot of passion here. There's going to be a painful birth process, and you're not in control of the timing at all. If you're going to do it like a natural birth process, the baby's in charge of when they're coming out, unless there's a genuine emergency and the baby's dying. And but the natural process is that the baby's in charge, and the baby lets you know when they're ready to come out. And so that's where this Santa Muerte deck is. There's a passionate change, divinely timed, and we're just waiting for the baby to let us know that it's ready and it's fully cooked and it's ready to come out. I mean, we have like the scientifically fully cooked is at like a certain number of weeks, and then we have the baby's intuition or the baby's inner knowing of being cooked. I know that sounds really weird, but that's how I did it, and that's my feeling about why babies are late or early or whatever, is the baby knows when they need to come here. And I wonder sometimes if that has to do with astrology or what, like this being needs to be born at this time, and that feeling. But I mean, safety here is paramount. That's the number one aspect, is making sure this transition happens and happens safely for everybody involved. But there is like a sense of waiting and expectation. So we have this expectant mother about to go through a very painful, difficult process, but we know this cradle is going to be full, and we know that. And we know that in part because of this new little card. You're very close to achieving your goal. So this is the mom at like 41 weeks. It's supposed to be 40 weeks, but her baby's overdue. So that's a possible outcome for your week, is still waiting on that baby. You're at 41 weeks. This baby is technically ready to go, but there's some sort of divine timing that seems to need to happen in order for the situation to completely transform and become something totally different and wonderful, for you to let these birds fly, to play the music, to deliver the message. You're waiting on divine timing, and when that comes, it's going to transform the whole situation. So Aquarius, this sounds interesting but also frustrating. To be at 41 weeks, which I definitely have been, is quite a annoying little place to be. So you're almost there. Your goals have almost been achieved, but you're not quite. You're still waiting a little bit this week, a little bit more to go. So I hope this is helpful for you, Aquarius. I hope I caught your vibe and your storyline here, your stream here. So thank you for your likes, subscribes, and comments. I really do appreciate the little bit by bit growth that we're experiencing on this channel. Have a wonderful week.